have the current stock market update for NVIDIA Corporation, stock ticker NVDA. Before we begin with today's chart analysis, if you find these educational materials to be helpful in your trading, please remember to click the like and subscribe buttons and leave your thoughts below in the comments section so that other traders can find this information more easily on the platform. So for this chart analysis, we're going to be looking at the 4-hour time frame. Each candle on this price chart represents a 4-hour trading period. And as we can see, the stock is currently moving toward new near-term highs. So we have now broken above this 132.92 area, and we are now looking at new highs coming in at 134.91. So we will be updating this here. Of course, this does sort of set the sights on the 136.15 previous resistance, but we first need to sort of readjust this chart here. So 134.91 is this near-term high. So obviously this is right below 135, and that's a bit of a psychological level for this stock. But the real level that I would be watching here does come in at these 136.15 highs, which would have been posted during the July 11 trading session. So if we remember back farther into the summer, that July 11 trading session was actually a very big day because it really did sort of set the tone for the rest of the summer, because many technology stocks really started to see significant price movements lower. And this is ultimately what initiated that trend wave into share prices falling toward $90.69. So this is a major trend wave movement here, and it does need to be understood that the last time that we were entering into this territory, we did actually see some fairly substantial drops to the downside. So I don't necessarily expect that to be the case again, but if this were to occur again, it wouldn't be totally surprising because it wouldn't be the first time that it happened. So, as things currently stand, we are now breaking above that 131.26 resistance level, and this area is important because if we do some longer-term Fibonacci studies here, we can see that this 131 area did come into contact with the 78.6% Fibonacci retracement drawn from the all-time highs at 140.76. So these recent movements are significant because ultimately what they suggest is that the stock is going to need to sort of conduct or complete a full retracement of this prior trending down move. So, the 136.15 area is definitely the next upside resistance zone. But ultimately, from the Fibonacci perspective, this does ultimately target a complete move of that prior decline. So just more recently here, what we're going to do to close out the video here is to look at the shorter term time frames. But I think first I do want to take a look at the indicator readings here because there are some fairly drastic bullish trend momentum signals that are starting to show here. This is really a bit unsustainable, as we can see here. I mean, this is a very strong slope on this upward price trend here for the relative strength index. And this does suggest that this current momentum level is probably not sustainable. In addition to that, we do have this prior break of the downtrend momentum reading that was in place for quite a while now. We can really go back to the end of May to see the beginning of this downtrend in share price momentum. And this has now since been broken. So this would be expected to be non-influential at the moment, not really influencing share prices, because this would be viewed as completing itself. So just to close out the video here, I will look at these shorter term time frames so that we can sort of get a sense of where we could be headed more near term. We will take a look at the 30-minute price chart here, because what I really want to look at is this most recent trend wave here. Essentially this low from roughly 115 to now roughly 135. So this is a fairly significant price movement. And if these indicator readings are correct, this would start to suggest that, we could be in store for a bit of a rollover here, because this is a lot of upward price movement, in a relatively short period of time. So, the suggestion here is that we could start to see some declines here relatively soon. So if this were to happen, we can sort of draw some Fibonacci readings here. So for example, if we were to see a small break above 135, for example, and then possibly encounter a retracement, the first level to watch to the downside would come in right back into contact with this prior 127.66 area, because as we can see here, that would give us a 38.2% Fibonacci retracement zone coming in at roughly 127.90. So, these are not exact, but we're also doing a bit of an approximation here as far as sort of assuming, where this ultimate price high is going to be. Now, we don't exactly know where that price high will be. We're just sort of running into some significant psychological levels at the moment, and the indicator readings are starting to look a bit overextended. So I do think that we should start to probably plan for some movements here to the downside. And there are some moving average readings here that are coming into contact with some important Fibonacci zones. So, as we can see here, this 23.6% Fibonacci retracement establishes itself right around 130.80. This would be the 50-period exponential moving average and the 23.6% Fibonacci retracement zone. And then in addition to that, we also have a bit of a deeper retracement into roughly 127.90 if these moves were to occur. Because here we have the 100-period exponential moving average and the 38.2% Fibonacci retracement. So if we do start to see a little bit of a break above that 135 area, wouldn't totally be surprising, because we're also going to be coming into some historical resistance at 136. So if we do start to see, approximately, some resistance that starts to form around there, we can start to look at this 130.80 zone as a potential area of support. For anybody that's possibly looking to buy into the stock. It should also be understood that we are starting to run into some very significant longer term highs. I do think that ultimately we break those, but buying into resistance like this is usually not the best approach. So, buying right into a stock's all-time high is usually not the best idea. So we would like to see a little bit of a pullback here. A bit of a failure at some short-term resistance levels, and then possibly a move back into either 130.80 or a better price zone. If we do see it, we might not actually see this area, but if we do see a 127.90 trade, that might also be a very good, an excellent position to start scaling into a trade. So here's the current stock market update for NVIDIA Corporation, stock ticker NVDA. Our high value trading strategies membership is currently available for a limited time for only $9.99 per month. These high conviction investment strategies are characterized by superior risk to reward metrics that target massive market beating returns over time. Join now to outperform the market. Lock in this special introductory rate of just $9.99 per month for the entire lifetime of your membership, and start trading stocks with the pros.